Sí,
Okay. Can you identify yourself, please?
Francisco González.
All right. Thank you. Just one moment.
Okay.
Do you need the assistance, Mr. Gonzalez, of an interpreter?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez, your attorney is coming on now. Give her a moment, please. Looks like Ms. Rodriguez is having difficulty connecting.
Parece que la señora Rodríguez tiene dificultad en conectarse.
Mr. Rio, were you able to communicate with Ms. Rodriguez earlier?
Me envió un texto preguntándome cuándo íbamos a comenzar. Aparte de esto, no.
Perhaps you could communicate to her that maybe she has to terminate her current attempt and restart again. And Mr. Gonzalez, thank you for your patience while your attorney
Gracias, señor González, por su
connects
paciencia
to this
mientras se
remote meeting.
conecta su abogada a esta audiencia a través de remota.
Okay.
All right. There you go. I see Ms. Rodriguez has been
Digo a
able
la señora Rodríguez
uh,
que ya pudo
to this remote hearing
conectarse
today.
a la audiencia por,
Good morning,
a
everyone.
través por remoto. Hoy, buenos días
I
todos.
have in the courtroom with me our
Tienen el juzgado
interpreter
conmigo,
and Mr. Rio,
nuestra
the
intérprete y el
city
señor
prosecutor.
Río, el
Appearing
fiscal de la ciudad,
remotely is
que
Ms.
se están
Rodriguez
presentando a
and
través
her
por
attorney,
remoto, y la señora
excuse me,
Rodríguez
her client,
y su abogado, y
Francisco
perdón, su
Gonzalez
cliente,
Gonzalez.
Francisco González González.
Good morning, Ms. Rodriguez. Are you able to hear me all right?
Buenos días, señor Rodríguez. ¿Puede escucharme?
She keeps cutting in and out.
Se está entrecortando.
Casi no se escucha bien.
You can't hear very well. La señora Rodríguez dice que no puede escucharla muy bien, fue lo que me acaba de enviar por texto.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez,
Señora Rodríguez,
are you able to hear me?
¿puede escucharme?
It might be your connection because your audio is very broken up on this end.
Quebrado.
I'm in, Judge.
All right.
Está bien.
What are we going to do today, Ms.
Es lo
Rodriguez?
que va a hacer, señora Rodríguez.
What matter are you on? I didn't hear anything other than right now.
Francisco
was barely-
Gonzalez.
González.
Oh, Your Honor, we're attempting to get a deferred prosecution done. He's already finished his IOP,
Ya terminó su-
but we're still awaiting an evaluation that indicates deferred prosecution so we can process him through probation.
y para tener este
So are you wanting to reset this?
aplazar esto,
Yes, please.
por favor.
And are you want to reset this on a remote hearing? You want to set a in-person hearing?
Remoto
Ms.
o en
Rodriguez?
persona.
A remote hearing, please.
Una audiencia en
All right.
remoto. Está bien.
Perhaps because we need the assistance of the interpreter,
La asistencia del intérprete.
we should set this to a Friday
Para este
morning, maybe either emotions or the,
cuando no haya peticiones,
that way our interpreter is available at the time we reset.
para que programemos esto.
How much time do you believe you need, Ms. Rodriguez?
Well, I guess that's a question I need to ask you, Your Honor. How is probation meeting with people to go over the deferred prosecution forms?
Para el formulario de
They are meeting via Zoom, remote hearings. If
Okay.
Mr. Gonzalez does not have access to anything other than a phone, he can come to the courthouse. We can provide him with an iPad and he can meet with the probation officer via Zoom. They at a remote location right now. We have a separate room, separate from the court room area where he can be interviewed by probation via Zoom.
Based on that, Your Honor, I'm going to ask for, we can ask for 4 weeks just to make sure everything is done timely.
Also, a Friday that's around that time frame, that looks reasonable. September 4th or September 18th.
Let me, I believe September 4th should be okay, Your Honor. I can just have a moment. Yes, I'm free September 4th. That will work.
And perhaps we should set this at just 10 o'clock.
That would be fine.
And Ms. Rodriguez, you'll assist Mr. Gonzalez in contacting probation to arrange that interview.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll reset this case to September 4th at 10 a.m. for a remote hearing. Mr. Gonzalez, do you have any questions of the court?
No.
No.
All right. Stay in touch with Ms. Rodriguez. She'll assist you in setting up a hearing or an interview with the probation department for entry of a deferred prosecution on September 4th. That'll conclude our hearing on this case.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, we also have Refugio Ramirez.
Yes, Your Honor. We are awaiting a competency report on Mr. Ramirez, but with COVID, that all stopped. They're trying to figure out how we're going to be able to arrange this in an area where they're still complying with the governor's mandate. And that's an issue in getting an interpreter there for Mr. Ramirez.
Are you asking to reset this as well?
I am, Your Honor. If we could set that a little bit further out, just because it takes so much time to schedule that. And I'll work with them to see if they're willing to come into the office and maybe have the interpreter via telephone. That way they're still 6 feet apart.
All right. So let's reset this. I didn't bring my calendars down too. Let's set this into October though. We can set it on either October 2nd or October 16th.
October 16th, please.
All right. And that'll be set at 10 o'clock as well. And Ms. Rodriguez, Mr. Ramirez is not present here today. We'll rely on you to contact him, advise him about today's hearing and the new hearing on October 16th.
I will, Your Honor. I know that he attempted to call in several times, but the number wasn't working.
Do we have an unidentified number right now? Let me see if. Hello, this is Judge Craig Stillwell. Can the individual on the telephone identify themselves, please?
Rebecca Village.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Village. We're going to put you in a breakout room, give you an opportunity to talk to the provisional attorney.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, we've reset this hearing to October 16th at 10 a.m. Is there anything else we need to discuss regarding this case, Mr. Rio or Ms. Rodriguez? All right. Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez, for your participation this morning. That'll conclude both of your hearings today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Did we need the interpreter on any of the not on Mr. Hughes? Okay. Yes. Thank you. So I'm going to excuse our interpreter.
access. Go forward with the arrangement.
Did he leave?
He's talking to the other one. but-
Oh. And did Tina Swindoll?
She's the one that's pleading not guilty. Requested 20 months.
All right. Mr. Rio, are we going to have to, are we going to argue conditions of release on Ms. Swindoll?
I don't imagine there's gonna be much.
All right.
I assume she's gonna be not guilty.
Yes. She's going to plead not guilty and
So I don't
she's,
have the conditions other than- not licenses, so.
all right. So let's go ahead and bring Ms. Swindoll in to the courtroom. Good morning, Ms. Swindoll. This is Pasco Municipal Court. It's now 11:01 a.m. Present in the courtroom are my clerks as well as the prosecuting attorney. You are here today on a charge of driving a license suspended in the second degree. You requested a remote hearing and the court has accommodated that request
Thank you,
at
sir.
this time. I have reviewed the affidavit of probable cause, and I do find probable cause for the charge of driving a license suspended in the second degree. You do have a number of constitutional rights. Did you go over those rights with Mr. Huey?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about those rights?
No, I do not, sir.
After talking to Mr. Huey, you've indicated you wish to plead not guilty and request the court appoint an attorney. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
All right. I have some questions for you with regard to the appointment of an attorney. I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. But with regard to court-appointed counsel, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you currently employed?
I am not.
When was the last time you were employed?
The last time I was employed, but my last day of work was April 4th.
And what kind of work do you do?
I'm a night auditor. I usually do a night auditor at a hotel.
And is you're no longer working because of the COVID-19 issue?
That's correct.
All right. And so you've been
Yes.
unemployed since April 2nd or 3rd?
April 4th, sir. Yes, was my last day of work.
And do you support anybody besides yourself?
I do. I have a 15-year-old daughter.
All right.
Currently on SSI, actually, Your Honor. I'm having some health issues. I have a tumor in my pituitary gland, so I'm unable to work at this point right now.
All right. Based on that record, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. Who's the
Thank
next
you,
one
sir.
on the rotation? We're going to appoint Mr. Eric Scott to represent you. Do we have contact information for you, Ms. Swindoll?
Yes, I believe so. I
have
suppose so.
an address on East Alton Street. Is that a current address?
Actually, that is not a correct address. No, that needs to be updated.
Let me see if
thought
I,
it was updated.
how about the one on West 13th?
That's correct.
That's
That
the correct address? Okay.
Yes,
All right. We'll indicate that as your current address.
okay.
We will provide to you this information on how to contact Mr. Scott.
Okay.
There are conditions on your continued release in this case. You
Okay,
need to understand you are not to drive without a valid driver's license or insurance. You are to make
Yes.
all of your court appearances. Your next court appearance is September 14th at 8:30 in the morning.
okay.
Will you be in a
Now,
position to be able to?
Will I get a notice of that September 14th, or should I be writing it down right now?
You should write it down, but we'll send you notice as well.
I'm gonna grab
And
my pen.
will you be in a position to be able to appear personally?
Pardon me. I don't think so. Well, I don't know for sure, sir. I have this issue going on with my health, and you know, I'm susceptible to any kind of infections or colds, or you know, I could get very sick over it.
You talked to
I have an
Mr.
appointment with my doctor next week, so I'm not sure that to the answer to that, sir.
All right, we're gonna
Probably
set
not.
it for September 14th. You
Okay.
speak to Mr. Scott about any issues and he can make the appropriate request if we need to handle something remotely.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you, sir.
I will just tell the court, the reason I didn't ask for bail was the condition that she put down. If she drags again, and she violates the conditions, I will be asking the court for bail. So she needs to be well aware of that.
Yeah, I don't even have a vehicle. I'm hooked up with
right.
dial-a-ride and stuff now, so I'm not driving. I don't even have a car to drive, so.
All right,
I'm
Ms. Swindoll, I'm going to ask you not to talk about your facts or anything. We're talking about just conditions of release. I think Mr.
Okay.
Rio just wants to make it clear that because you have new pending charges as well, that if there are any other ones, he will be asking for a modification of these conditions of
Okay.
release. So
Okay.
no driving without a license or insurance. Make all your court dates, contact your attorney within the next 10 days, and maintain contact weekly while this case is pending. Make appropriate appointments with your attorney in order to assist him on this case.
Okay, now maintain with my attorney, you mean weekly contact?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay, and could you give me that court date again one more time? My next court date, just like.
September 14th.
14th, okay. And that's in the morning, right?
That's
8
at
o'clock.
8:30, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Along with this criminal charge, you did have a civil infraction for defective equipment and insurance. Do you want to set that for a hearing with this criminal case?
If we could do that, it'd probably be easiest, sir.
All right, we'll set that matter to track along with
Okay.
this criminal case. All right, we will send to you this information from today's hearing, and also to Mr. Scott. You contact him pursuant to the court's conditions of release. That'll conclude your hearing today.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right,
All right, have a good day.
have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Then we await Mr. Huey's indication that they're ready to proceed. So, yes,